Hi everyone, it's that time of the month again. No, not that time. Swap time, new swap time. Swaps over at Your Paper Pantry. So they begin on the 25th of every month, and we have our sign up start today in all the categories and everything. So if you're a member of Your Paper Pantry, you already know this and head on over and find something that you enjoy. Or if you're new to if you haven't heard of Your Paper Pantry, it is a Ning site that was created by Roxy. She's here on YouTube. You can find her as Roxy Fur, and we have quite a few different swap groups. There is definitely something for everyone. Quality swaps, lots of fun things going on. There's challenges, monthly swaps, and just a great community of artistic people. So before I tell you what the swap is for this month that I am hosting, I want to let you know that Roxy and I have put our heads together, and we have quite a few, or at least 2 or 3, really cool swaps in the works for the next few months. So you really want to stay tuned and be part of it, because we've really taken our time, put our heads together, come up with some really great ideas to keep our swaps fun and interesting and challenging for all of you. So like I said, definitely something for everyone. You really want to give it a try. I'll put the link to the Ning site down below. But in case I forget, it's yourpaperpantry.ning.com. Okay, so I've been on a file folder kick for the last month or so. I created some journals, little file folder journals, mini file folder journals. Last month for June, we did a file folder journaling kit, which was really fun. And so I thought we are going to stick with file folders, because if you didn't have any and you bought some for those swaps, then you have a ton of them, and we want to use them up and make some cool stuff. So I combined that manila file folder fetish that I have right now along with the Prima Julie netting stamps that everyone is playing with and having fun with. I only have the first release, but I'm going to have to order the next release. But I have had tons of fun with these stamps, as has everyone, right? I've seen a lot of tag swaps and just a lot of great creations coming out from these stamps. So what we are creating this month is a card holder out of the manila folder, but it is using the Julie netting stamps, the Prima stamps. So your cards will be fitting into a number 10 envelope, and your cards would be pretty tall. This cardstock measures 7.5 by 9, and it's scored at 3 3/4. So you could definitely go a little bit bigger, as you can see, just a little. I mean, you have a little bit of room, but I don't know. I don't think I'd go that much bigger, because I really like how that fits in there. So like I said, I took an 8.5 by 11 and I cut it down to 9" by 7.5. And I folded it at 3 3/4, and that's what gave me my card base. And then any number 10 envelope, or if you want to make your own envelopes. But you are going to be creating 4 cards using any of the Prima stamps, okay? And using a manila file folder as your holder. And let me tell you what I did. I just took a standard manila folder. It was folded in, in half like that. Okay, I trimmed it down to 8 1/4. I trimmed it down to, oh, I'm sorry, I can't even see that I'm measuring. I trimmed it down to 8 1/4, but you can go, 8, no, even less than 8 1/4. I did 8 1/8, which is a little silly. I don't know why I did that. But you can go 8 1/4 inches, wide. And then I trimmed it down on the height. I trimmed it down to 10 3/4 inch. Okay? So that's how big the file folder is. And then you ended up with a folder that looked just like that. Okay? Not without the little notches, obviously. And then I opened it up, and I scored it at 2.5 inches in on both sides, so that you could fold it in like this. And then you can stitch it. You can sew it with your sewing machine. You can hand stitch it. You can add brads, whatever you want to do to seal it off on both top and the bottom to create these little pockets like this. hope you can see. I have my desk is an absolute mess. So these would fit in here like this. So you have one side for your envelopes and one side for your cards. And this is an example of a card that I made for Maddie for her 8th grade graduation. So look at how adorable this would look over here on this side. 4 little cards like that. So you can't, obviously you won't be able to heavily embellish them, which I think is really good. Let's try to just stick with something, like focus on, you know, the paper piecing of the stamps, or, you know, adding, you know, painting, coloring, glittering, whatever. But I like the fact that you really can't overly embellish, because you won't be able to fit 4 cards in here. But wouldn't that be so cute? And then you are free to do any theme cards that you would like. Just the only thing that would limit you is your imagination. Here you go, Matt. You can create any theme that you'd like, and you can decorate this in any way that you'd like. I'm thinking I'm going to collage possibly on the front and paint the back, do any type of closure. I really like the closure that I have done when I've been creating these little journals. I really like these little closures, and I think that'd be really pretty if you put one on the outside, or you can make like a little belly band, or you can close it up with ribbon, whatever you'd like. But you just want to do one side, like I said, for envelopes, and one side for cards. So feel free to create anything you'd want, anything you'd like for cards, and using any of the stamps. Like I said, I only have the first release. I want to order the next one, but use any combination, just as long as it's any of these Prima Julie Nutting stamps. Okay, so if you want to check us out, go over to yourpaperpantry.ning.com and sign up for a swap. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.